Alrighty. Part 5. So as we're talking about the death, Air Force had caught a lizard, and I don't know if he caught it outside and brought it in, or if it came inside and he caught it. Regardless, he had caught a lizard, which had resulted in the lizard's death. Sad. I always feel for animals when they die, even the cats catch like a bee or something like that, or a fly, like the littlest thing. I have sympathy for the death of those animals. At one time I even housed a lizard that came in the house and would like sit right here. I think you remember, it would just sit over here. This was before the cats. That's just was my yearning for a pet. And I gave the lizard water and little fish food. He eventually died. He was probably a little bit sick, so it's probably not the best thing, but yes, sometimes things have to happen, right? Even if we have the sympathy for them, it's just the natural order. This is a big, powerful, muscular cat, and he will hunt, yes. Sad days. Well, along with that topic, let's go ahead and start out with a quote for this section. And we're going into a tale of Muhammad, which I had written down. This was from Francis Bacon, I believe. Oh no, maybe? Yeah, I think Francis Bacon took this proverb or story. His life was 1561 to 1626. But let's go ahead and read it. Muhammad made the people believe that he would call a hill to him, and from the top of it offer up his prayers for the observers of his law. The people assembled. Muhammad called the hill to come to him again and again, and when the hill stood still, he was never whit abashed, but said, "If the hill will not come to Muhammad, Muhammad will go to the hill." So this is from Proverbiality, If the Mountain Will Not, by Francis Bacon. He repurposed this story. But anyways, we can kind of make this in likeness to the will of God, right? If the people will not listen, the people will not listen, I will make the people listen. That's kind of what I'm getting from this, right? God is all powerful, and he could probably move the hill if he wanted, right? He could probably do away without violence, but the way that the people of the earth receive listening sometimes is through violence. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Sometimes you don't hear anything until it's pounded into you. Crazy, right? But it's very true, right? These people make the same mistake over and over again, and the Lord has to keep expressing his will of do not do that. Now, of course, we all have free will. We can make our own decisions. That is the blessing of being on this earth. We can make our own decisions. We can have our own observances. We can have our own opinion on a lot of things, but like the Lord's way is the Lord's way, and if he wants to make you into something great, he will do so by any means necessary. So that is just the way of the world, my people. Let's go ahead and continue to see what else happens. We're going to read a little bit of some further offerings and see what happens after this. Yes, there will be more drama, so stay tuned. With a ram, prepare a grain offering of 2/10 of an ephah of the finest flour. Excuse me, I think it's ephah, I don't know, ephah of finest flour mixed with 1/3 of a hin of olive oil and 1/3 of a hin of wine as a drink offering. Offer it as an aroma pleasing to the Lord. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you enter the land to which I am taking you, and eat the food of the land, present a portion as an offering to the Lord. But if just one person sins unintentionally, that person must bring a year-old female goat for a sin offering. The Lord says to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, throughout the generations to come you are to make tassels on the corner of your garments with a blue cord on each tassel." So this was, again, he's reiterating the importance of giving to the Lord, making offerings to the Lord, especially if they're asking him to do something. Make an offering first. This is what we will learn a lot of the nations in the surrounding areas who did focus on the Lord, or the prophets that were focused on the Lord did. If they wanted a revelation, if they wanted the Lord to speak to him or her, they would have to offer something to the Lord first, and then the Lord would do so and help them out. Again, because it's pleasing to him. It's pleasing to him. The aroma is pleasing. I want to learn more about the importance of the offerings. Maybe that will come to us. All right. And again, this part, interesting, the tassels are established in this. So a lot of people of the Jewish faith, especially in the Hasidic Jewish culture, they wear the tassels. And every time they looked at the tassels, they are to remember to stay pure, to stay clean, and to not sin. That is the purpose of the tassels, to serve as a reminder for them to stay holy. So that is established here in chapter 15 of Numbers. Let's go on to chapter 16. Korah, son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and certain Reubenites, Dathan and Abriam, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, became insolent and rose up against Moses. With them were 250 Israelite men, well-known community leaders who had been appointed members of the council. "You, Korah, and all your followers are to do this. Take censers, and tomorrow put burning coals and incense in them before the Lord. The man the Lord chooses will be the most holy. You Levites have gone too far. Each man is to take his censer and put incense in it, 250 censers in all, and present it before the Lord. You and Aaron are to present your censers also." So the Lord is talking to Moses. He's actually in much grief. He's getting very depressed, if you will, about the people. I mean, imagine 250 of your own with their leaders coming to you and complaining. And again, what we have talked about, they're complaining. They're like, why is this happening? Why are you the leader and why aren't we the leader? Aren't we all equal? Aren't we all deserving of prophecy and things like that? Doesn't the Lord speak to all of us? And again, like in the past, the Lord has mentioned, I do come to people in dreams, right? I give them hidden messages, but Moses is different. Moses, he speaks to word for word, and Moses has seen the form of the Lord, speaks to him face to face, if you will. So that's very important to just remember. So the Lord is testing them. I don't know if you remember the issue. Nobody is to really burn incense from the Lord. Nobody is to offer unauthorized burning of incense. And even the people of Aaron, his sons, right, who did so in an unauthorized manner, they died immediately. So this is a little bit of a test. But the people, since they're claiming equivalence, right, they're claiming equal standing with Moses and Aaron and what have you, they just ignore all of that happened previously. They're like, okay, well, we can offer the incense. The Lord is telling Moses that we can offer the incense, so we're going to do it. And the Lord will pick one of us. Let's see what happens. So they moved. I'm not laughing matter. I'm sorry, but it's just like in retrospect. So they moved away from the tents of Korah, Dathan and Abriam. Dathan and Abriam had come out and were standing with their wives, children, and little ones at the entrance to their tents. As soon as he finished saying all this, the ground under them split apart, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them and their households, and all those associated with Korah, together with their possessions. So Moses at this time, I kind of left this out, they're warning the people. They're like, move away from that area. The Lord is going to do something like he's never done before. Move away from this. People did not listen, and the ground literally opened up. No earthquake necessary. It just split, right? This was not something that we've seen before. It just split open and swallowed everybody up. crazy, right? We talk about like how is this reality, right? Or how did all of this manifest? And it's just strictly through the power of the Lord. No other being or entity could accomplish anything like this. So yes, that's unfortunate because it was all of their families, young children, and everything. But there's more. But wait, there's more. And a fire came out from the Lord and consumed the 250 men who were offering the incense. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, to remove the censers from the charred remains and scatter coals some distance away, for the censers are holy, the censers of the men who sinned at the cost of their lives. Hammer the censers into sheets to overlay the altar, for they were presented before the Lord and have become holy. Let them be a sign to the Israelites." So this is interesting because, yes, they were all burned up, charred to a crisp, so unfortunately, and but they didn't fail to serve as a reminder for everyone else. They took the censers and they made it a part of the tabernacle to serve as a reminder, saying here, this was a mistake, right? A mistake was made, but this is your reminder that even those who make mistakes, they can still become holy, or it can be a sign of reverence. So again, a reminder to stay reverent and to be obedient to what the Lord is saying. He warned them before. He had told them, listen, this is what's going on. This is the natural order of things. You have to be good. You have to pay attention. Be good and listen to what I'm saying, because what you're about to do is a feat of greatness. You have to be on your right path. On your right path. But anyways, yes, serving as a symbol. So Aaron did this. Aaron did this. I'm just going to say Aaron did what Moses said and ran to the midst of the assembly. Okay, so this is kind of the next part. It just goes boom, boom, boom right after the next. But there was a plague as well after the censer issue. The plague had already started among the people. But Aaron offered the incense and made atonement for them. He stood between the living and the dead, and the plague stopped. But 14,700 people died from the plague, in addition to those who have died because of Korah. So people, I think, what had happened right after the 250 people died, more individuals became upset and in grief and confused, right? This confusion, this doubt started to creep into their hearts. So the Lord commanded another plague to go ahead and wipe out 14,000 people, which is quite a devastation. But there were a lot of people within these tribes, so it's almost like he had some to spare. Unfortunate, right? But again, the message of the day today was talking about the foundation, and if anybody is shaky and going not according to plan, it's not good, right? It can't be a part of the foundation. So that's just what has to be done. And again, these people probably aren't damned to hell. Yes, death is an unfortunate event, but their spirits are remembered, right? And they might have come back at a later time once things weren't so testy or scary, because they were obviously people that couldn't handle this stress of the time. So it probably was a relief for them to, have their life ended there. Unfortunate. It sounds sad, but this is also something we have to remember. We can't take death for what it is a lot of time. Yes, it's sad and it's unfortunate that people have to leave this plane, but that doesn't mean it's the end of their story. That doesn't mean it's the end of your story, especially people that still remain and are left behind. They are chosen to go on and to move forward. But death isn't the end of all, right? But it is important to, carry out your task if you do want to remain, and have a long and healthy life. So, yeah. Maybe this is why I was kind of dreading coming on here and talking about this. It's drama and it's fun to talk about drama, but it can be very taxing. Also remembering why, we didn't really read the Bible like this back in school, or we're not taught this really as children, because it's a lot of violence, right? It's a lot of violence. But let's go ahead and go on. let's go on. I'm not going to do too much more. I think maybe just one more topic. Yep, let's go ahead and do one more. Alright, catch you guys in a jiffy.